Click, click, boom! What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is here to bring you guys a fun-filled video reaction to this beatdown we just gave the big badasses of the AFC. Man, look, man, hold on. Before we get started, before I introduce everybody else who's here, man, I got to play something for y'all real quick. I know we don't normally do this. YouTube probably going to be listening when we try taking us out, but I don't give a shit. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. Ever since that thing went boom, I'm that dude. Already, I ain't got a damn thing to prove. What's my motherfucking name? Come on. All right. Hey, listen, man. Y'all should go check that song out. It's called Already by DMX. That song is getting me hyped, man. I feel like Jimmy G is talking shit through DMX to me on that track, man. It's worth it. Go check it out, faithfuls. It's a lovely song. Again, it's called Already by DMX. But tonight, we got Eric, we got Dylan, and we got my man Nick. Fellas, what's going on, man? I know it looked like Croc, the only one not on mute. So what's going on, Eric?
What's up, man? Just excited. Another win.
Yo.
Five wins in the last 6 games, man.
We killing it, man. We taking our top competitors. Dylan, what's up, man? Talk your shit, Dylan. What's up, man?
Hey, it was a good game, very good game. I'm really happy with the way it ended up. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm one of the first to admit I never saw that game going the way it did. I was hoping we could compete, but I never saw the game. I never saw us just dominating like we did, and I'm glad I did get to see it.
That's the thing, man. Like, it's crazy because I'm sitting there, I'm watching this game, and I'm like, yo, here we go again. Just like last week, they went on a 17-0 run. They come back at the end, go with a 16-0 run, tie it up at halftime, and I'm like, fuck, I knew it. This is why I didn't get all hot. They didn't get all cocky. I said the Niners are going to lose by double digits. I called it like 11, 12-point game. And here come Nick. Here come Nick. Hey, guys, have no fear. Captain Saberho is here. He puts on his 44 jersey. He puts on his 44 jersey, and the rest is history, man. Nick was in there. Oh, wait. Did I get the number wrong? I got the number wrong. 47, right?
42. 42.
What are you doing, man?
Y'all know what I'm doing over here. Y'all know what I'm doing over here. 42, my apologies, all right? He puts on the lot jersey. The next thing you know, Niners touchdown. Next thing you know, Niners turnover. Next thing you know, Niners touchdown. Next thing you know, a fumble recovery for a touchdown, but then they called that shit back. But we got the ball back and scored again anyway, man. Nick put the jersey on and flicked the switch. Nick, what's really good, dude? How do you do it? How do you do it, man?
Yo, I ain't doing shit. But the 4-2 and the 1-0, the savior, the Garop, the Gucci, the man of the hour, the legend,
Jimmy.
My man is tearing these defenses up. His pocket presence is fucking amazing. Mike, I'm super excited, man. I had a pounding ass headache. I'm kind of glad that we waited a little bit because I could just, you probably heard me in California screaming at my goddamn TV. How super excited I was. I rushed home. Look, man, it's Christmas. We all know that. We all had to go out to our families, do all that stuff. And I'm watching the game on my phone, and my mom looks at me and says, how come you're not wearing your Ronnie Lott jersey? Next thing you know, this team starts coming back. I'm like, Mom, I got to go. I drove about 80 miles an hour home. I messaged you guys in the group like, yo, have no fear, man. I just threw my jersey on. This shit's going to turn around. And everybody's just looking at me. I even posted on Twitter, Faithful, it's okay. I just put on my jersey. We're going to win this game. The rest is history, bro.
It's funny because it's true. Because I was like, Nick, shut the fuck up. Like, this is what I'm thinking. I didn't say it. He put the tweet. I'm like, man, what happened when we lose? You gonna burn the jersey? This is what I'm thinking. I'll be damned, man. We ain't turning around after you put that fucking jersey on, yo. Dylan, Eric, y'all saw it, man. Y'all saw it.
Yeah. I mean, I always have faith in the jersey. I'm superstitious like that, though. So
it's working, man. I don't know what it is, but it is freaking working. So, guys, we need to get down to the nitty-gritty and talk about this game, man. We had a very impressive outing against the #1 defense. We had our highest scoring game this week. We had help from the defense. We had some bad looks from the defense at times. We had players who helped in the beginning get benched and then come back to help out again. I mean, what an up and down whirlwind we had on the defense. So I think we should start there. I want to go to Dylan first to get your overall thoughts of the game. You don't have to go with defense, but we'll get back to that later on. But overall thoughts on the game, Dylan. Like you let me know what you were thinking, man. How would you feel? What was your feelings? Emotional roller coaster and everything. Like, break it down for us, man.
All right. Well, I'm going to start with what's probably our weakest spot on that defense, and it has been all year with the corners. But I mean, Akella Witherspoon looked phenomenal. Dude, he looked amazing. I mean, that's the best I think I've seen Akella Witherspoon play this year. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, did he have 2 picks in that game? Just one? Just one? Okay. Well, I know the one pick that he had was a gimme. Blake Bortles basically threw it right to him. But his pass breakups through the whole game were just he was playing like a true corner that we haven't seen for a little while. But then on the other side, you got Dante Johnson, and I mean, you can be hype all you want about that pick 6, but he didn't really do anything on that. He just got the ball and ran. Other than that, he sucked. Dante Johnson is garbage, and we need to fix that.
You said he didn't do anything but get the ball and run with it. What else was he supposed to do? Like juke Michael Jackson moonwalk?
I'm not saying he needed to do anything else. I'm just saying, don't praise him for a pick 6. Eric Reed just hit the ball, and then Dante was like, "Oh, I got this. I guess I'll go here." He just got lucky with it.
Yo, Eric Reed didn't hit the ball. He smacked the shit out of that receiver.
Yeah.
He demolished him, and the ball was just like, boop, and Dante's like, "Hey, my Christmas gift."
So, Eric, man, I'm going to bounce it to you, man. Overall thoughts on the game. If you want to touch on these DBs, you know we're going to get to it at some point. But, I mean, it was up and down, man. I tweeted the 49ers during the game. Please, can we bench him? They benched him. Then I saw, what was this guy's name? Tyvis Powell or something like that?
Some dude we got off.
Did y'all even know who this guy was? He came in. I was like, oh, shit, Niners. Hey, I'm sorry. All right, I'm happy that y'all listened, but can you please put Dante Johnson back in, please? And then Johnson came back out. Nick, man, we were pulling out all the mojo we had, man. You in the jersey, I'm tweeting people and shit, trying to get stuff to happen. But Croc, man, I want to get your feedback, man. What do you think about the game today?
Just overall, without going, into too much specifics, I thought it was good. You talk about, the different things, that I've heard. Shanahan and Lynch talk about on KBR. I listen to KBR all the time. And they're just talking about how hard it is to get a win. How hard it is to get a win in this league. And anybody that's played sports and anybody that goes through life knows there's a lot, you're going to go through a lot of adversity. And I thought this game showed a lot of, ups and downs of life and the season. I think everything that happened this year is meant to, have a great story next season. I think it's going to be a great story next season. But it's everything that they went through this year is what is going to prepare them for that moment. We talk about experience. All of the experience. We have a rookie score. We have Taylor score a touchdown, Kittle score a touchdown, Brady score a touchdown. That's 3 rookies. We had Akella Witherspoon get an interception, rookie. We had Solomon Thomas get a sack, rookie. It's like we have we're creating the perfect scenario for next season. All these guys getting this experience, and not just getting experience. Early on, I saw something like, the 49ers had the most rookie snaps in the league. It was like, dude, we're 0-9. So, maybe that's why. But then now you see it, and you see them making plays. You see us winning. And now it's a lot more encouraging. So, fighting through adversity, being able to, fend off the Jaguars at the end of the game. Even after being up 16-0 and the block, letting them come back 16-16, they come out, they kick a field goal 19-16, and then to do what the 49ers did after that. Man, I'm so proud of the team. I'm so happy, and I can't wait. I know the season's not over yet, but I can't wait to see what moves we make next year to start going on that Super Bowl run.
Yeah, talk your shit, Eric. You over here getting me hype, man. Talking about the rookies that showed up and showed out today, man. It was beautiful, bro. It was absolutely beautiful. You know what I mean? So I want to give my man Nick the mic, man. What's going on, bro? You the good luck charm?
Man?
Are you the rabbit foot for the 49ers? Is it you? Is it the jersey? Is it my my one piece that I had to wear out to a holiday party today because we had a pajama Christmas party? Maybe it's the onesie, huh? Y'all let me know what it is. But Nick, your thoughts, man. What's going on? Break it down for us.
Bro, I called all week that since our last reaction show, we were going to win this week. So I'm not as surprised as I wanted to be, but I'm surprised by the amount of offense that we had today, the points that we put on the board, the grit that we played, the lessening of the penalties at most times. Still had a lot. I think we had 8 for, I don't remember what the yards were. I'm not the rabbit foot.
The yards for
what? What's that?
You said you don't remember what the yards were. The yards for what? I'm sorry.
For the penalties, 8 for whatever.
8 penalties and total. It doesn't say what the yards are for here.
Yeah, I don't remember what they were.
Trying to look at. Yeah, it doesn't say. It just says that we had 8 penalties. It doesn't say. 4 of them were for first down, so it don't say.
But it's definitely not me. I'm not out there playing. These guys, this team is finally seeing what it feels like to win. The chemistry is coming. They believe in their new leader. Jimmy Garoppolo is the truth. He is making the team better in all phases, whether it's special teams, other than the Carlos Hyde onside kick today. I don't want to get into that right now. But special teams, defensively, offensively, receivers, possessions, catches. This guy's spreading the ball around. 9 different receivers again this week. 9. Last week it was 10, including himself. The week before that, it was 9. The week before that, it was 8. All different receivers. He's spreading the love. He's spreading the ball. But I have to give a lot of credit to Kyle Shanahan. This guy is scheming these players open. He is calling the right play calls. That 3rd and 8 on Breida's touchdown was a perfect play call. He had Goodwin going to the left, knowing that we've handed the ball off to Goodwin like this for averaging 8 to 9 yards on that play, sucked the linebackers over. They picked up on it, and then throws a shovel pass to Breida to get outside with great blocking downfield. The thing that has made me fall in love with this offense is how well our wide receivers are blocking downfield for the most part. They're blocking. Goodwin is a hell of a blocker. He's blocking. Receivers are blocking. But man, I just can't get enough of the pocket presence, the footwork, the ability to escape once again from pressure and throw the ball where it needs to be placed. And he did it again for a touchdown. He did it again today. But don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of mistakes that he's making. It's just that he's capitalizing on other plays that we're forgetting about these mistakes. He's overthrown the ball 2 or 3 times. He had a couple bad throws today. There was receivers open that he didn't see on the first read, but then gets it to another player on the second read or third read. But, man, it's a super exciting time right now to be a Niners fan, man. I just can't. This offseason is going to be so much fun, Mike. I just can't even express what it's going to be like.
Yeah, we'll get to the offseason and all that stuff later on. We're not going to do that today. Except there is one little topic that we will bring up a little bit later. But, Dylan, I saw you getting hype about that Breida play. You look like you had something you want to add to that, man. Go ahead and talk about it, man. Talk your shit, man.
We all know that I haven't been the biggest Breida supporter. I've been on the Hyde train for a little while, but, I mean, the closer we get to the offseason, the closer it looks like. Even though Carlos Hyde says that we're a Super Bowl team next year, he won't be a part of that team. It's looking like his days as a 49er coming to an end, which is sad. Number one, because I just bought my dad a Carlos Hyde jersey last year, so that sucks. And, I mean, with that Matt Breida play, I think he sealed – I think it was a combination of Carlos Hyde missing that onside kick and the Matt Breida play to seal the win is what did Carlos Hyde in. And exactly what Nick was talking about. That was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful play call by Kyle, and it was perfectly executed by the entire team. Whenever it came to 3rd and 8, I was sitting there saying, we've tried running the ball. We've tried running the ball over and over, and it's just not working. We're not getting the yards. I remember saying, I don't like it, but we have to pass the ball here. And Kyle Shanahan said no, and he ran the perfect play right over there. And he got the first down and more, took it in for the touchdown. And I want to hit on something real quick that Nick was talking about there. But with Kyle's play calling, there's one specific one that I wanted to talk about. I know I talked to Nick before we started, but it was a 3rd and short, probably like a 3rd and 2, where we didn't convert. We didn't. Carlos Hyde was running it right behind Joe Staley, and it sucked because we didn't convert. But I also remember that it was the perfect play call. I wasn't mad at the play call at all. I thought it was exactly what needed to be called there, and it just didn't work out for us. I mean, that's an elite defense right there, and it's hard to beat them for it.
Yeah, there were a couple of plays that were drawn up today, and I was like, yo, like, I like the play call. I'm not gonna lie, I love the play calling. Saying I like it would be an understatement. I was given big praise last week, and it definitely continues this week. It grows even more. But like you said, that was a good defense we were playing this week. Why were we so successful? So now I want to bounce this to Eric, if you don't mind. Eric, I want to ask you this question, man. We heard about their pass rush. We knew they were susceptible against the run, but it really, really seemed like that secondary didn't show up today. And we didn't go out. We didn't throw for 350 yards or anything like that. It was nothing crazy like that, but it was more yards in the air than what I expected. I know they got the pick and everything, but to see Jimmy G go ahead and go out there, the 242 and everything, it seemed like we were getting things at will. We were 10 to 15 today on 3rd down conversions. How did they not stop us? You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened with that vaunted secondary that people talked about over there in Jacksonville? From your perspective, what do you think it was?
So from what I saw, they actually the secondary did well. So I was listening to a podcast that BD Peacock got, and he had the Jaguars people on there, and they had said with their DBs, sometimes you'll get some stuff early, but they'll change, they'll adapt to how you're doing things, and then they'll play better. Well, they did. If you remember, the first drive we had Bourne wide open. I know Garoppolo missed on that, but we had a couple completions to Goodwin on that drive. I don't know what Goodwin's final numbers are, but I can't imagine he had more than 35 yards. 30?
Yeah, Goodwin had 3 catches for 42 yards.
All right, 42 yards. That was probably all in the
Wait. I'm sorry, 37. 37. I read Kittle's number.
So really, who did a bulk of the work for us were guys that their DBs weren't covering. We had Juice have some big time catches, big time yards. We had the tight ends come through in the clutch. It wasn't really the outside guys. So their corners, when you talk about Ramsey and Bouye, and then their safeties did well. They all did well, but their underneath guys, was where it hurt them. And again, that can be a huge testament to how good of a coach Shanahan is. He said, you know what? These are the strengths. These are the top defensive backs in the league. Okay, can I scheme up some stuff to get Juice matched up on somebody that, where I think we could win there? Can I get the tight end, running through this type of zone and kind of free him up, to stay away from these corners a little bit? But their linebackers did well. I mean, there were some throws that Jimmy G made where it was like, oh, I thought that was a pick. And somehow Bourne came up with it. That happened a few times. I think for the most part, their defense played well. Garoppolo was just better. I think that's what it comes down to. And he doesn't even know that what the hell he's doing all the way yet. Just imagine this an entire offseason.
That's the cool part about it, man. We still seeing a limited offense right now, man.
Yeah.
Like that, and that's why I threw it to you, man. I wanted to see if you were gonna say it because I don't listen. I'm not an X's and O's guy. I watch football. I see this guy sucks. That position group sucks. This part of the team is good and all that stuff. And I kept saying, man, their secondary is good. Jimmy ain't gonna have a good day. What I didn't stop to think about was, fine, let their secondary be good. Let's attack them somewhere else, yo. So you look at a guy like Kyle Juszczyk with 5 receptions for 76 yards on the day. That's major. That is major. Those are the numbers that we were getting from Goodwin. Goodwin ain't do shit. They said, all right, since Goodwin's your number one, we got him. We know y'all going to we know Goodwin's your number one and Taylor's your number two. We're going to control those guys. Those two guys together combined for 56 yards. That's it. They shut them down. They had 6 catches for 56 yards. They took away our 1 and our 2 with those corners. I never even thought like, yo, it's all right because, you know, we got Kyle Shanahan. My brain did not go there. I was like, it's going to be a long day for Jimmy Garoppolo. But
what I say yesterday at night before he went to bed in the group?
We got Kyle Shanahan.
We got Kyle Shanahan.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I
said, we have Kyle Shanahan. And this is what he does.
It just didn't translate in my brain, man. I mean, he used Juice. He used Kittle. I mean, he was using everybody, man. Like you said, the tight end and the fullback together combined for 118 yards. Like that was a game plan right there. That was a game plan right there. 118 yards. It was beautiful. Nick, man, you kind of quiet over there. I don't know what's going on in your head over there. I see you reading some stuff, some comments going on. What's going on, man?
Yeah, so I also want to say real quick, I just want to play this because this is the faithful today. When was the last time we heard the crowd like that at Levi?
Wait, what about the MVP chants today? I know y'all heard that, right? Come on now.
The MVP chants, but Robbie Gold said that was for him. So, you know, but yeah, big shout out to the faithful showing up today, man. When me and you went, Mike, it was like in October when we were playing the Cowboys, it was like you could hear a pin drop in there. But since Garoppolo, man, these fans have been showing up consistently. And Priscilla, who was the guest on our show before, she put out a tweet like 10 hours ago. She says, doesn't matter the outcome of this game. Just realize that this is probably going to be one of the last games that you can actually afford to go to Levi Stadium. So ticket prices are definitely going to be going up, guys, just so you know. But the other thing I wanted to give, you guys were talking about the DBs and their DB play today and the secondary play. But some of those goddamn throws from Jimmy Garoppolo today had the cameraman or the camera thinking the defender picked the ball off because they were in such tight spaces and the receivers were catching it. He was throwing dimes. I mean, there was a couple times I'm like, oh, shit, that's a pick. Wait, no, he caught that? Like, the play calling, the separation from the receivers, they didn't have that big of an outcome on the game today. Like you said with Kyle Juszczyk. Kyle Juszczyk came up big, and you didn't think of Kyle Juszczyk because you think Kyle Juszczyk's overpaid. He's this, he's that. You know what I mean? But he has had some big games. He has had some momentum switchers, I guess you could per se. But man, I mean, this team is just, we are definitely on the uproar, man. We are definitely going to be in the right position. And I was telling Dylan earlier when we were talking to him, real quick, is do you realize this winning isn't only good for us fans right now? Us winning out these games, if we can win out these games, well, even if we lose next week, us showing the type of fight that we're showing right now is only going to help free agents want to come here. Because of the fact that you can see the culture swing, right? You can see the momentum changing, the players learning how to win. And another big shout out I got to give today is John Lynch, bro. John Lynch was in the parking lot today before the game handing giveaways out as the general manager. Him and Al Guido riding around on the cart, bringing the old faith back, handing gifts out. You can't beat that, man. He's down there shaking hands, before the game's over, handing out gifts in the parking lot. This culture is changing. And it's not in San Francisco, it's in Santa Clara, but it is still changing, and this culture is going to be back, and this is going to want a lot of players to come here.
Real quick, I'm going to let you get back to it, but I was showing my pops the video that I saw of John Lynch in the parking lot and then the still shots and everything, and I'm like, he's out there. And my dad's like, yo, he's standing there in the middle of all those fans. He was like, you don't see that. My dad's a Giants fan. And I'm like, yeah, you don't see it a lot. He says, how is he possibly doing that without security? And I told him, I said, hey, Pop, when I went to that game the other day, I said, it's a lot of motherfuckers with, it's a lot of cops out there with big-ass assault rifles. Because remember, I stopped and asked the cop, and I'm like, this is a home game. Like, why do y'all have these big guns? What do you? He was like, it's always just in case. It's like 4 of them standing up. They're 7 feet higher than everybody else, and they just stand there with these big assault rifles, just waiting for shit to pop off. I mean, damn, I'm cursing again. They're waiting for stuff to go down, and it was like, for what? So I was telling my dad, I was like, oh no, trust me, there's security out there. They got all these millionaires out there. He walking around amongst the people like that. Trust me, he's taking care of it. He's protected. But yeah, so you reminded me of that. Just wanted to share that with you. I'm gonna pass it back to you now. I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, man. I'm just super pumped, super excited, man. I think this game, and I gotta admit, I do it every week. I say it all the time. I was 100% completely wrong on Witherspoon. 150%. Croc, you probably say to me, yes, I called him Dookie. I called him a bust. I called him this. I called him that. This kid's balling, man. This kid is balling. And I will never give up on a DB that fast ever again. So just so you know, I was wrong. I eat those words, all of them, because this kid's going to be something big, man. I mean, barring injury in the NFL and all that stuff, but I think that he still has a lot to learn. But Dylan, I disagree with you on that pick. I don't think that was a gimme. He played the back shoulder. He spun. He saw the receiver. He spun around, and then he literally just made the play. I don't think it was just a Christmas gift like
a gimme. A gimme was the wrong way to say that.
Well, I thought he said that gimme was to Dante Johnson. He was like, all he did was catch the ball and run. I don't remember. Did you say Akello's was a gimme also?
Well, I said that the Akello one was
a bad throw from Bortles.
What I meant by that was Blake Bortles threw an awful pass. It was an incredible play. Maybe I'm thinking of a different corner.
No, you
or
did the right play.
Somebody else.
So what happens is how the quarterbacks are taught these days is if a defensive back is in good position, then the quarterback wants to throw back shoulder. If the defensive back, if you have a step on him, then he's going to lead you. Akello Witherspoon was in good position, so the quarterback threw the back shoulder, but the receiver, remember it's his first year, they got young receivers in there. He was on a different page than the quarterback. So it made Bortles look really bad, but really it wasn't a bad throw or decision by Bortles. It was the receiver, they just weren't on the same page. Now, Witherspoon played that coverage as good as you can. That was as good as you can, how he covered that. He got to the receiver's hip. He had him controlled. He looked back, and then for him to flip his hips, turn around, track the ball down, watch it all the way in, that was pretty damn good. I like that. That was a great play by him.
That was a veteran type play.
I should have given him more credit whenever I was saying it. He did. He went all out for that play, and me not knowing corners and the football as well as Croc does, I just assumed Blake Bortles was Blake Bortlesing and threw it in the middle of nowhere.
There was the bad throw that Williams picked off. I don't know. Maybe you were thinking about that one.
It might have been that. I don't know at this point. The game was
Williams. I'm sorry. What was that?
The game was 3 hours ago. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I know the Williams one. I was like, what was Blake Bortles doing? Like, I was on Twitter. It's gonna sound crazy. Like, I spent the last 2 days on social media, like telling people, like, hey, don't get your hopes up. Like, this team is for real. Like, they put up 45, 30, 24 in their last 4 games. Like, this offense is for real. People keep saying, oh, it's just Blake Bortles, just Blake Bortles. Like, no, they move the ball. They get yards, and they do. Like, people are going to try to take away because they lost, But like, let's be real. You put up 33 points in the NFL, 90% of the time you win in that game. You know, we just happen to get 44. So let's not sit here and talk like, you know, they didn't do anything at all. But people were like really 49er fans like, oh, it's just Blake Bortles. If Blaine Gabbert beat him, we're gonna beat him. Like Blake Bortles threw for almost 400 yards today. He put up 382. You know what I mean? Like he had 2 touchdowns, and yes, of course, he had 3 interceptions. But like he was doing his job. He had no run game support. The Niners shut that shit all the way down, and we didn't. That's what I want to do. I want to talk about this defense. This defense, the passing defense. It was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Interception. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Interception. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Interception. Like it was just, the passing game was driving me crazy today. Who was it? Who do we blame? Was it all Dante Johnson? Was Williams? Was Kwan Williams out of place a lot? Did Akello give up some stuff that we don't know? Nah, Akello was nice. I ain't even going to throw that out there.
He gave up a couple crossing routes.
But Akello was nice for the most part today. I mean, my man was eating. And he does this thing. What is this humble brag thing that he did? When he stand up and just look at the sideline like, I'll be getting hyped, man. He put his arms behind his back like, I ain't even going to say nothing. I love it.
You had to watch those boys at Colorado. I watched 3 games last year. That's when I started like looking. I'm like, I really like this kid. Then when I saw the coordinator we got, I was like, hey, this Keller Witherspoon would be a good fit for what we want to do. But it was him and Cheetah Awuzie, the one the Cowboys drafted, 2nd round. Oh man, they played with so much confidence and swag last year for Colorado. I thought they were probably one of the best cornerback tandems in college football. They were that good, and they played with that swag. And Witherspoon, the more you see him get comfortable, which we're seeing right in front of our eyes, the more you're going to see a lot of that come out.
Yeah. So I want to ask you guys some questions. I'm going to bounce it to Nick here. I'll let Nick start it, and we'll go to Nick and then Dylan. I want to ask you guys about the defense overall, because if you were to ask me, I was like, yo, Solomon Thomas had a day. Buckner had some plays. Sheldon Day, Marsh, Akello Witherspoon, we talked about already. I would say Dante Johnson, but he had so much negative that his day ended up being bad. But he also made some plays. He had the pick 6 for us. Was that our first pick 6 of the year? I think that was our first pick 6 of the year.
Don't give him credit for that.
That was that the easy one. He just caught it and ran.
Yes, he just caught it and ran. He doesn't deserve any pride.
Right. I was trying to get my guy some love from Jersey.
Get pulled out of the game.
Hey, look, we can give him credit for actually catching it.
I'm surprised he did that.
Because Colbert dropped a gimme. Now that was a bad pass by Bortles.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, Steve Mullen said in the chat, he was like, the bad throw you're probably thinking of was the one to Adrian Colbert when Colbert dropped it.
Yeah.
Before we jump to defense, though, I want to ask you a question. Do you think that interception was on Jimmy Garoppolo? The end zone one? Because not a lot of people said anything or seen it, but that ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. No, so when I first saw it, I was like, wow, that was a really bad throw. And I didn't understand it, because one of the things that I've been looking at is that Jimmy, for the most part, doesn't make bad throws. I don't know what it is. Like, he just doesn't make a lot of bad passes. So when I saw it in live speed and I saw the live speed reaction, I was like, wow, that was a bad throw. But then when they showed it from the other side, you saw the ball get tipped, and you could see the ball kind of shift off and veer its trajectory. And I was like, all right, that's why. So I didn't blame him. I never even mentioned it, because it was just like the other pick that he had, his first one, where the receiver caught it and then was just ripped away from him. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but my point is that it wasn't his throw that did it. It was how it got tipped at the line of scrimmage.
And I was just saying that because even the announcers didn't say anything about the ball being hit at the line of scrimmage. And if that ball wasn't tipped, it was going where it needed to go. I've seen a lot of people mentioning, like, where was he throwing that? Where was he throwing that? Well, he was throwing the ball. The receiver was coming across the back of the end zone, and he was throwing the ball like this. But like you said, once the ball got tipped, it veered to the left more and went right to the defender.
And good to the people wide open over there too.
And to the people who were saying, who was he throwing that to? That's literally what I was saying. I was literally like, who? I'm going to quote myself. Like, who the fuck was that to? Like, what was he doing? That's what I wanted to know. But then, like I said, first replay, it was still live speed. Just but you don't see the ball start wobbling until they showed it from behind Jimmy. You know what I mean? And that's when I was like, oh, okay, I get it. But I do want to ask you guys about this defense, man.
Hang on. I'm going to stop you before you go to defense, too. Sorry. This is really big for me. We played a team that has sacked so many people this year that they changed their name to the Saxonville Jaguars, and we allowed 1 sack on the night. I just wanted to throw that out there real quick.
One time. And that's it, man.
Oh, and a big shout out to Earl Mitchell coming in on the goal line, playing the line.
Mm-hmm.
What was up with that? That was crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know that Joe Staley did special teams until recently either. I didn't know Joe Staley was a kickoff team. I noticed a lot of weird stuff that I never paid attention to before.
He probably would have caught the ball better than he would actually probably charged it on the onside kick.
Yeah, the field goal. I meant to say field goal. I didn't know he was on the line on field goal because he don't line up at the left on the left like he does. He lined up on the right actually. I never noticed that before. Did y'all know that Joe Staley did special teams? No? All right. It's a boring topic. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I want to get does anybody else have anything else to do? Or what's this hat thing? Nick, you want to do a hat? Are we going to talk shit about that hat and t-shirt day? Is that what this is? Or
Oh, no,
or
that comes later. That comes later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All
right.
Who do you think – hey, Croc, without looking at the stacks, you or Dylan, who do you think the leading tackler was on the team today?
Reuben Foster.
That would be my guess.
He missed too much. It would be somebody in the secondary. They were killing us in the secondary.
Maybe Colbert.
Colbert led the team today with 6 tackles. Foster was 5.
He was close, and he missed a lot.
There was actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players with 5 tackles today. Foster, Hall, Johnson, Reed, and Thomas.
Reed, yeah. I knew Reed was one of them. I knew Thomas. Thomas was doing his thing today, man. Today I was really proud of Thomas. And I'm never –
So let's talk about the defense. So overall, I think
No, wait. I want to stop you real quick.
Oh.
I'm just fucking with you. Y'all just did it to me. I'm just fucking with you, man. Y'all did it to me like 3 times. I had to get you back. Go ahead. Let's talk about the defense.
All right. So overall, I think this defense is really starting to play together. And sorry, Dylan. Me and Dylan were talking about this earlier, but nobody's even – the odd man out right now that nobody's even talking about that's going to come back is Malcolm Smith. So, sorry, buddy.
Took it from me. I was so ready to do that.
Oh, I'm so fucking sorry. But, guys, this defense is actually starting to play. I really love Earl Mitchell. Solomon Thomas, I think we should keep on the inside because he's playing so much better inside than he is outside. Buckner's always just going to eat because he's just causing a lot of pressure. Akello bowling out. But this team, Adrian, which actually he Instagrammed us and said what's up to all Niners crew. Nothing but Niners crew. I meant to tell you guys that earlier. Foster, his ankle, I guess today, was still acting up, or he said last week it started acting up as well. This week it's acting up. I don't know what to think about him yet with his little injuries. But like John Lynch said, or not John Lynch, Robert Saleh said last week, Reuben Foster's playing to kill you. The only problem with that is he kills himself too. So he's trying to hit you and lay you out, which is true. He comes out like a missile. But overall, we're gonna have some big decisions at the safety position with Tart, Ward, Reed, because right now I love this young duo of safeties that we're playing right now. Like I really love it. I think the chemistry is really good. They're bowling out. But overall, I think we held them to what? How many? I think we held them to how many rushing yards? 9, 11, 7, 90.
Is that my reception or is that Nick's?
Can
you guys hear Nick breaking up, or was that just me? All right, maybe it was just on my side. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What we allow? 100? Did we allow 100 yards rushing today?
Today, the Jaguars. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
You guys hear me? Jaguars had 92 rushing yards today.
All right. So another game that we have
game without 100 yards. Yep.
without 100 yards. So defensively, we are definitely playing better. I think we're still missing a couple pieces, but I think that'll come. I think overall, being able to hold a hot Blake Bortles, and like you said, he was 32 for 50 for 382 yards today. So we still got passed on. Sack-wise, what I don't even think we had. Did we have what, one sack today? Two? One? So it was in that 1 or 2 range.
I'll look it up right now. But I thought we had 2, but I also know that there was a penalty on. Remember if it got called back or not. Yeah, we finished the game with just 1 by Solomon Thomas. But I swear Buckner got home today. Buckner got home today.
Bortles did a good job. If something wasn't there or the pocket started collapsing, he was able to escape and get a couple yards or pick up 5 or 6 yards. He did a really good job of that. There was pressure. We just kind of did like we normally do and didn't get somebody to the ground. But he was athletic in the pocket. I think somebody else that's more of a sitting duck, we probably would have had a few sacks today.
Yeah.
But then the one was a fumble that didn't go our way.
I like.
Yeah, the one.
What was that?
The one catch where he made a football move. That should have been a fumble. I don't understand why that wasn't a fumble. Another one that was close with the refs was the forward pass was really close.
The 2-point conversion.
The 2-point conversion wasn't a 2-point conversion. Didn't look like he got the ball over. Looked like he was stuffed. So there was some bad reffing, but this defense still gave up a lot of big plays today. A lot of big plays, but they're growing, man. And the thing that helps us right now is we have an offense that's clicking to be able to back that up. But the defense came in big when they needed to stop, man. So I have no complaints overall. Croc, what about you, buddy? What do you think overall with defense?
Yeah, overall, I mean, it just looks kind of like the product of a staff that couldn't address everything in one offseason. We definitely need a lot of help at cornerback. We definitely need an edge rusher. We definitely need a healthy Malcolm Smith. But you can see the direction that this is going. They have to work for everything. They got some freebies with, bad cornerback play opposite Akilo. That's going to be the Achilles heel until we fix that. And we can talk about later how I think the 49ers should address that position. But overall, man, I really like what I saw, flying around, stopping the run. You stop the run and force somebody. I don't think the Jaguars want to throw the ball 50 times with Bortles. That's when mistakes happen, and that's exactly what happened. So good job. Young defense, you would like to see them sack the quarterback more, but there was pressure. He did have to, he got hit. He took a big hit by Buckner. Yeah, we just need to get to the quarterback a little bit more. Sacks. The pressure is there, though. The pressure's there. But yeah, overall, good job. I don't think that the numbers are going to reflect how well the 49ers defense actually played.
And I'm pretty much going to go off of what both of you guys said, mostly because Nick took everything that I planned on saying. I shouldn't have told him everything before we started, but
welcome to the world of doing a podcast with Nick. Welcome. You've officially made it.
Anyway, and
both, also, like I don't have my own content. Fuck you both.
Anyway, I also was going to talk a little bit about my thoughts on the corner situation, but I know anytime me and Croc are in the same conversation about corners, we talk about the same two guys, so I know exactly who he's going to talk about, and I know who I'm going to talk about, but he said later, so we'll get into that later. But, I mean, everything Nick said is exactly right. At this point, I'm still of the opinion that we need an edge rusher as our number one, our first round pick. Offensive line's nice, but I'm on the edge rusher train. Because if you can get an edge rusher in there and let's say Eric Armstead on the other side, DeForest Buckner and Solomon Thomas in the middle, that's a mean front line right there. And he took my Malcolm Smith one that nobody's been talking about, and I was excited to bring it up. Then you got Reuben Foster and whatever else you want to do up there. I mean, you can have the Eric Reed hybrid linebacker over there too if you want. But, I mean, the defense is young in most aspects, and exactly what Croc was just saying, you want to see more pressure, and that's been our problem for most of the season on defense. We cannot get enough pressure on these quarterbacks, and that's exactly what that edge rusher will do.
I just want to say,
anybody has. I don't think anyone has talked about how good of a job Coyle's doing. He had a rough. I remember the Redskins game. He had a rough time. He couldn't cover Thompson out the backfield. I was like, guys, get this guy out of here. He's another Nick Ballore. You know, that's what you're hearing everyone say.
Oh no, that's too far.
I actually played with Nick Ballore. Man, I played with him in New York. But, you know, it was like, oh, he's another Nick Ballore. And he's not. You know, he's Coyle. He's been doing good. Like, can we think of anything where he's really just been a liability at anything, whether it's in coverage, whether it's against the run? Our run game has been very well. I think the more this unit has played together, because, you know, we've had some injuries, guys in and out of the lineup, but over the last 6 weeks, we've probably been the most consistent with who's out there on the field, and I think it's showing. I think that's why the defense is playing well and taking advantage of, you know, different opportunities.
I remember I was thinking the exact same thing about Brock Coyle earlier. The last time I saw a game where I just thought that he was absolutely a liability was that Washington game, and he stepped up his game. I mean, he was playing very well in a lot of those games. I remember one play specifically where he missed a tackle, and I even remember in the group message, Ali went in there and he said, get Coyle out of there, he's a liability. And I was about to respond, and then I just decided not to. But, I mean, you're going to miss plays every once in a while. It's going to happen. It's not like he's Bobby Wagner in there. But I don't see Brock Coyle as a liability at this point. I think he's a solid linebacker.
I gave a lot of love to Brock Coyle on Twitter last week. I gave a lot of love to Brock Coyle on the podcast. I'm done doing that. The guy is not as bad as what I thought. I made the comparison to Ballore and Will Hoyt and all that stuff. My man, he stepped up. He's been serviceable. There's been no more WTF moments from him. So I like what I'm seeing from him. But you guys seem to, like, right now you guys are, oh, it's okay. Like, you know, it's a young defense. It is a young defense, man. But 500 yards on defense, that's for more than 450 yards allowed on defense. Like, yo, you played for the Jets. What would Rex Ryan say if he had to come in and y'all allow 450 yards on defense? I'm being serious. There's no way Robert Saleh is going in there and was like, well, at least we got the win, guys. You guys did a good job. There's no way he's happy with that, right?
Well, I think you bring up different things. Like, okay, how did we get to the point where it's 500 yards? You have penalties that keep drives going, and they end up getting another.
No. Are penalties counted in defensive yards allowed?
No, penalties aren't counted, but say illegal contact. That's a 5. Say on third down, you get an illegal contact penalty. And, you know, it's a 5-yard penalty. But now they instead of being off the field, that drive continues for another 60 yards. You know, that happens several times. Or the onside kick, where they get an onside kick when, you know, typically we would get the ball, and instead of us getting the ball, they get the onside kick, they drive down the field, that's another 50 yards. So right there, just between an illegal contact penalty just between a legal contact or, you know, a penalty on Johnson and an onside kick, that's 100 extra yards right there. Just on those two plays, 100 extra yards. Or it ended up, you know, giving them the opportunity to get 100 more yards instead of getting off the field. So, you know, things like that kind of the the coach is probably going to go in there and say, hey, these are the things we need to clean up. We did these things well last week or the week before. We didn't do it this game, and then they get 500 yards. So now we have to fix that. Now, part of fixing that is getting better guys, getting better defensive back, getting a better edge rusher, a passer, somebody that's going to make that play. And I think that's what this offseason is for.
Yeah, I mean, there were some things that I liked from the run defense today, but again, keeping these guys under 100 yards. Leonard Fournette is a big boy. I love seeing him and Reuben Foster going at it today. I love seeing Reuben running in and just smacking him up, man. I mean, it was a thing of beauty. It was like watching freaking what there was a Marvel movie. I think it was like Captain America's shield and like Thor's hammer, just bam, like just clapping, man. It was amazing. I love seeing that, dude. And I'm like, yeah, Ruben's with the shits, but then there he is laying out on the ground again every week. Why does he do that, man?
Do you guys really look into that? I saw him get hurt going to halftime. I said he'll be back. I didn't even worry about it. He plays so violently that he's gonna get banged up. But at this point, most of those dudes are banged up. He's gonna be all right. He hit something. I heard. Okay, I'm back, and he's playing at an elite level each time that he comes back. I don't pay any attention to him when he's down. I mean, the first few times I was like, oh my gosh. But now, I kid you not, I have no worries in the world when I see him down. I don't even pay attention to it. I see the comments. I see the group chat. I roll my eyes. Like, man, this dude's playing possum with you guys. He's going to be right back. He's going to be fine. Sure enough, last play of before halftime, he was on the ground. First play of after halftime, where was he? Right back in there in the middle. Didn't lose.
I remember after that play, I was like, I think he just goes in the blue tent just to say what's up to the guys. I mean, I think they're just friends at this point.
I know he legit gets banged up. He legit, just because of how he plays, he legit gets banged up. But it's not, it's not like, oh, I can't play with this bang up. You know what I'm saying? He might hit somebody and really hurt his forearm a little bit. Okay, let me, it hurts. Let me lay down for a second. Okay, let me walk it off. I'm good. He hit somebody really hard with his shoulders. Got a little stinger. Let me walk it off. Okay, I'm good. I'm going to be back. And how he throws his body around, he's going to get banged up a little bit, but it's not unless you start seeing him grab his ankle and his knee like we did in that game against the Panthers, he's fine.
I mean, all right, so I don't mean to sit here and like hate on the defense. And you're right. You're right. When I see Reuben down, I do think he's going to get back up. We heard Kyle Shanahan echo that. I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but he was like, I don't even run out on the field to check on him no more. Like he's fooled me enough. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just going to wait for him to get up. I know he'll be all right, and we'll see him later. Out and check on their first round draft pick anymore. Like, that's crazy, right? So it happens, but I just and I hear you. That explanation, it does make a lot of sense because the longer we have the ball, the less time they have to move the ball. And they got that onside kick. You know what I mean? It was the pick six, and they got the ball right back. That was also like back-to-back possessions for them. You know what I mean? So I guess maybe I can give them a pass today. I think that's kind of fair. I honestly, I never thought of it that way. I have been harping on time of possession since Jimmy Garoppolo came in here. And this is the first week we didn't have it for 30-plus minutes. This is the first week that didn't happen. And we were close. We were damn close, but we didn't quite get it for the 30 minutes. We only had it for 29-11. You know what I mean? So we were right there, but we just didn't have it. That onside kick, you know what I mean? The play clock's by itself. We get over 30 minutes. So I guess overall it was a better game than what I thought. Just seeing those yards, man, I felt like the defense was a weakness. But let me ask you, was Selleck active today? Did any of y'all know if Selleck was active? He was, right? Nick? Because I never saw Selleck do anything today. No Selleck time at all.
He was active. I just think that we used a lot more different sets with Kittle. Kittle was probably – so remember we said last week or so, where has Kittle been? We haven't really seen much of him. Well, he was still nursing injuries. He was active, but he was still nursing injuries. So Selleck was playing more than Kittle was. I think they did the vice versa this time. Kept Selleck active. If they really needed him, they would use him nursing that injury. but play Kittle and make Selleck active just in case something happened to Kittle.
Yeah, it was weird. I was really wondering, like, was Jacksonville's defense that good? Like I mentioned earlier, how they neutralized Goodwin, they neutralized Taylor. Did they also neutralize Garrett Selleck, or was he just not out there? So I actually have to go back and look to see how many times I see 88 out there, because I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure how many snaps he played today. But if Jacksonville's defense is that good that they took away our three best options, like, they're going to be a problem for real. Like, people can say what they want. Not everybody has a Kyle Shanahan. Yes, Croc, I'm giving you your props. All right, you said he was the secret weapon. I'm giving you your props. Not every team has the Kyle Shanahan. All right, so you're not going to be able to scheme shit open like that. But man, if they took away options 1, 2, 3, and 4, them boys nice. Them boys are nice. So that defense is for real. It's to be respected, man. Faithful, man. I mean, how do we? All right. Let's just get to it. I mean, unless there's something else y'all want to talk about, I want to ask y'all now. And I know it's early. I know it's premature. I know we still got a game left. But I said that if the Niners won this game, we go into the playoffs next year. Does anybody here disagree with that? For the people who are watching, I know we got a lot of people watching right now. The comments are going. For the people watching, just type a quick yes or no. Do you think the Niners make it to the playoffs next year? Just type a yes or no. Fellas, give me your reactions.
Fuck yeah.
Me personally, I think, yeah. Think about it like this. We're 4-0 with Garoppolo. 5 out of 6 of our last games. If we win a few of those close games early on, or a game like the Panthers game where we were in it, but we weren't because the turnovers and just not being able to move the ball at all. I mean, we just could not move the ball. Garoppolo moves that ball, so I'm just looking at it as, how would we have done if we would have had him every game? And it's hard to, speak on hypotheticals, but I think we would have been more of a 9-win team, 8-9-win team, and kind of in that position to maybe make a push for the playoffs. So I think next year you give these guys an offseason, and now you give the coaching staff another year to, add to what they put together this offseason with, these young draft picks and things like that. $100 million in cap space. I don't see how someone can look at the 49ers and think that, with our quarterback situation and everything else, is not a team that will be fighting for maybe the NFC West. Not even just, wild card, but, fighting for that NFC West spot.
Hey, man, I wanted to say it. I can't bring myself to say it, but I wanted to be right there with Carlos Hyde.
Just say it. Talk your shit.
All right, we're going to the Super Bowl. I don't care. I'll say it. We're
Talk your shit, Dylan.
Give me Garoppolo. All right, I decided to make this my own. Thank you, Mike. I decided to make this my own title, and I'm gonna call it the Aaron Rodgers effect. And I know this is gonna get a lot of bad rep because I'm using the name Aaron Rodgers, but we've seen what happens whenever Aaron Rodgers isn't on the Packers. It is an abysmal pile of crap. Just nothing. They are terrible.
Dookie.
They are dookie. We were dookie. We were very dookie. Okay. And we brought in Jimmy Garoppolo, and all of a sudden, we're beating the best defense in the NFL. I mean, 4 wins in a row. I mean, it's hard to not live off the hype and say that when you go into every NFL season, you're in preseason and everybody's like, "Oh, who do you think's going to go to the Super Bowl?" There's always that one guy that says it's probably going to be Green Bay, because Aaron Rodgers always has that ability to take his team all the way. That is what a true franchise star quarterback does. I'm not saying, before I get attacked, I'm not saying Jimmy Garoppolo is on Aaron Rodgers' level yet. I said yet. I'm not saying he's on that level yet. All I'm saying is Jimmy Garoppolo is a superstar. Okay? I have no problem already saying that. He is a superstar. And as long as we pay him whatever he wants, which we should, he is going to make what is going to continue to grow as a team that knows how to draft. That's a very important detail. We know how to draft. The Packers do not know how to draft. They've never been able to help Aaron Rodgers. We know how to draft. We've shown it in one season already. Croc told you earlier about all the rookies that are already making such a big impact on our team. We know how to draft. We're going to put talent around Jimmy Garoppolo. And that's why I don't have a problem saying that I'm with Carlos Hyde. And do I think we're going to go to the Super Bowl? I don't like saying that. Would I be surprised if we went to the Super Bowl? No. No, because that's just how good we are with Jimmy Garoppolo around us.
Nick, I need rhyme and reason, brother. Do you think the Niners are playoff bound next year? Why or why not?
Yes, I think they are. The reason I say that is because, I mean, I've never played in the NFL, obviously. Croc, you have. Maybe you could tell me if I'm right or wrong on this. But when you're going into an offseason like this, especially having half a season, excitement, momentum, adrenaline, hype, all contributes to winning, to building what you're building. And the reason that I think the team is gonna do well next year is because I think we have a front office now and a general manager and a head coach that's gonna add those pieces that we were missing in the draft or free agency to continue this build. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch said it in the beginning of the year. It may not be next year. It may not be the year after, but we're going to get this done, right? And now we're talking Super Bowl, right? So that's what they're talking about. But for rhyme or reason, this team is finally learning how to win. Once players or people learn how to win, the chemistry that it builds, the excitement that it builds around the building, it really sucks that we have a long-ass offseason coming up, because if we could have had 4 more games this year, I think we could have been a playoff team this year, right? If we had Jimmy Garoppolo, and this goes back to our debate, which make sure you guys go and vote. I think there's 2 days left, or we're just going to make Mike do push-ups tonight. But this goes back to show that if we had Jimmy Garoppolo in those 5 games that we lost by 3 points, I don't think we've talked about this before, but I think that we could easily have 3 more wins on this team. We could be at 8-18 easily going into the end of the season. But I also don't think we get blown out like we did by Carolina, or get blown out like we did by, we win that Rams game. We probably win one, possibly both Seattle games. But I think Jimmy Garoppolo just makes this team, man. This team has bought into him so much. And I know we all keep going back like, holy shit, we have a quarterback. We have Jimmy Garoppolo. But nothing else has changed on this team other than the quarterback. We didn't make other additions. Like, we didn't bring in other positions, players to make this team better. We're playing with the same team, the same playbook, the same head coach, the same scheme calling, but just a quarterback who makes everyone around them better. I'm not sure we're going to put the Rams down next year to win the West, because I think that may take a little bit, but I definitely see us getting a wild card and being able to cause ruckus in the NFC playoffs next year. So that's my rhyme or reason, man. Jimmy Garoppolo, additional pieces, and the ability to know what it feels like to win with young players right now and hyping themselves up to where they're winning right now. And you would think, damn, this is going to their head, but they're loving every minute of it. And they're just playing harder and harder each down and play. And they're doing it for this organization. You can tell they love the front office. They love the coaching staff. They love the players on this team. And more players are only going to want to come here and give us better chance of going to the playoffs and doing this turnaround that quick.
I kind of wanted to give like a back asswards. Yeah, I said that, back asswards answer to this, but if you look at just what the players think, Joe Staley said before this game, it was last week, that the NFL, the NFC is lucky the Niners aren't in the playoffs because they're dangerous right now. Then you come out today after the game and you got the two running backs, Breida and Hyde, saying that the Niners are going to the Super Bowl next year. You have players, I believe it was Eric Reed. I believe Eric Reed made similar comments. Also, the guys are feeling extremely confident, man. And now the fans are feeling it. So are the freaking players. Can you imagine what that's like? It's infectious. They really run around there like they can't be beat. They don't feel it. You got Jaguars players tweeting things like, they exposed us. We weren't ready for it. The Niners exposing people in 2017? What? The 0-9 Niners? That same Niners team is exposing people? It's amazing what a quarterback can do, man. Listen, I said it, and I'm sticking with it, man. I honestly think that we make the playoffs next year. I honestly think we make the playoffs next season, man. And it's just because of the confidence thing. The team is good enough right now. I think with Jimmy Garoppolo and him getting more comfortable with more time, imagine after we start adding the pieces. Imagine when we get the pass rusher. Imagine if we get another lineman or two. It's lights out. It's lights out, man. We need pass rusher, lineman, and a DB to replace Dante Johnson. We good. We have the best group of safeties in the entire NFL. By the way, quick timeout. I want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. If you're on the East Coast, it has been officially Christmas for the last 24, 25 minutes. So Merry Christmas to you guys. Croc, you got to wait another 2.5 hours, baby. But Merry Christmas to everybody here on the East Coast. Nick and Dylan, I hope you guys enjoy the day. Happy holidays to those of you who do not celebrate Christmas. All right. No love missed on that. But we had a question here from I'm Lil Ghost. And the question was, with Reuben Foster's frequent injuries, is middle linebacker going to be a concern or will? Now, you guys touched earlier that Malcolm Smith is returning. Is that going to be an issue? Do we just say Malcolm Smith can fill in him and I almost said Ballore. I can't believe I almost said freaking Ballore. But can they flip-flop? You know what I mean? Or should we address this position later on? Croc, what do you think?
I would still address it. I mean, we're loading up, with the momentum we have now. We're not just having guys to be a player. We're loading up to be real contenders. So to be real contenders, you have to add talent. However, you can add talent and create competition at those positions. To create competition at that position where you say, okay, Coyle, you want to be here? Now you're gonna have to earn it. Smith, you're coming off an injury. Bring a guy in. Maybe you draft a guy 3rd, 4th round, middle linebacker, and you can find guys in it. When was Bowman? Wasn't Bowman like a 3rd round draft pick? So you can definitely find middle linebackers in the 3rd round that can give you Chris Borland, 3rd round draft pick. Get a middle linebacker and then let them all compete. I would create as much competition at every position as possible. However they can do it. I'm using all the money to create competition at every position, including middle linebacker.
Yeah, I'm basically going to say the exact same thing. Competition is always good on a football team. No matter how good you are, you need somebody to fuel your fire, keep you wanting to be the best that you can be. And we don't need to use a 1st round pick on a linebacker. We have good linebackers at this point. Like Croc said, you can get them 3rd, 4th round. You can get somebody that's going to at least come in there and compete and make sure Reuben and all those guys, Malcolm Smith, Coyle, they try to earn their job.
I hear what y'all are saying, but I just feel like it's not a need right now. I feel like we're getting some decent play from the linebackers.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but think about this: when we look at our list of needs, we can top it off with a pass rusher, some offensive linemen, corner. What's next?
Probably middle linebacker.
That's what I'm saying.
I was going to say wide receiver.
Wide receiver, I'll even give you that one, okay? 4.
Running back.
But I would go defense before. When you talk about like now, like kind of things that we can just add, I would go deep because offense we can scheme. We know what we're doing, but it's hard to find people that can react in a split second and stop somebody. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, we're seeing it right now. No matter what or who's on the field, you know, with a competent quarterback, Shanahan can scheme up something to where we will be very competitive. Defensively, if you can't stop the run, you saw what happened to us last year. So we really still don't have depth at middle linebacker. Yeah, we're going to have Foster, Coyle, and Smith, but say Foster, hypothetically speaking, Foster does go down. Like you guys said, how comfortable do you feel with Coyle and Malcolm Smith? Now, say one of them get banged up. We lost Bowman this year. We lost Malcolm Smith. Say one of them. Now you have Coyle and who? So you definitely, if it's me, I'm adding someone. And it doesn't have to be a main priority. It could be somebody in free agency. But I'm definitely adding someone to compete to possibly be a starter.
I want to get Nick's thought on this before I give my final thought, because I have it's going to be like a little switcheroo in there. So it's kind of like I don't know what the word is right now. I'm trying to find it, but it's kind of a yes, but it's also kind of a no. So I want to get Nick's thoughts. Do you think it's worth getting or addressing the middle linebacker position, knowing that Malcolm Smith is coming back next year and the play that we're getting from those guys already?
Look, y'all heard me say this last week on the show when you asked me what I thought about Reuben Foster, and I was like, bitch on one hand, hell of a player on the other. So I can't really say yet. I don't think we address it, actually, because, I mean, Malcolm Smith knows this defense. If he comes back from injury, well, fine. I think Reuben's going to stay at the will. And I don't think we address it. I think maybe like a late draft pick. I don't think we do anything in free agency. But maybe like a late draft pick, we can pick something up in the third, fourth, maybe. But for the most part, I think they're waiting to see what Malcolm Smith can do, because they were saying Malcolm Smith was playing really well in this system during training camp, and that it was a shame that, you know, with him and Bowman, the communication, and to be able to just cut Bowman, that still looks on the outcome on the years to come, because of the fact that you're like, okay, well, we have Malcolm here. You know what I mean? It wasn't putting all the pressure on Reuben Foster for this year, maybe, but for years to come. We just signed Navarro Bowman to an extension, if you guys remember, like a contract extension for a big amount of money. And to be able to just cut him, that shows that this team, this front office and coaches have that faith in Malcolm Smith. So I think maybe fourth round, somewhere in there, which you can still get a good middle linebacker for that. Go ahead, Croc.
Think about it like this. We've watched some of the other teams that play a very similar defense. So whether it's the Seahawks or the Jacksonville Jaguars today, I think if you look at the windows that those linebackers are making guys throw into, I don't think our linebackers are doing that in coverage. I haven't seen too many times where our linebackers make someone have to thread the needle or make a super tough throw. I haven't seen that. So I think when you think about it like that, yeah, from a run stopping perspective, they're doing very well. But once people start throwing the ball, there's way too many windows. So we can definitely improve. If it's Malcolm Smith, then it's Malcolm Smith. But I'm thinking just overall, we need another dog. We need somebody else. We need a dog, and we need somebody that can cover. I haven't seen that. I don't even see that from Reuben Foster. I think he closes down on anything in front of him or side to side. He's there. He's closing in a split second. You're not getting any yards after contact. But behind him, when he has to drop, I haven't seen our linebackers make those really tight window throws that the better defenses that run our scheme are making us do.
Dylan, go ahead, because I'm going to explode over here. So I see you busting two over at Paul's. But go ahead.
All right. I'll try to be quick. And I remember pumping Ray Armstrong up so much at the beginning of the year. It didn't turn out as well as I had expected. But one guy that I feel like I never got to pump up enough because, and I mean, we've already talked about him plenty in these past few minutes, is Malcolm Smith. And I want to take a look at what kills our defense the most. Whenever I look at what plays kill our defense the most, I see two plays. The first is just attacking Dante Johnson. I mean, that's easy. Once we get a corner in there that's worth being an NFL corner, we can finally start to shut that down some. But the other play, and I feel like I talk about this more than anyone else in the group chat, but I can't remember the last time we had a linebacker cover a back out of the backfield. It's like we just pretend they don't exist half the time. And that kills me so much. The Titans on that little drive at the end, that's all they were doing. If you remember earlier in the season, whenever we lost to the Cardinals in OT and they were driving down the field, they ran the same play over and over again. They threw it to a back out of the backfield. Malcolm Smith was I was very happy with that acquisition, and I hated that he never got to start playing, because one of my favorite things that I found out about Malcolm Smith whenever I did my research on him is he is a fast dude. I remember going back and looking at all the Raiders' old stuff. He came from Oakland. He's a dude that gets from side to side just like that, and I loved it. That's somebody that we need to cover those back out of the backfield. That's one of my biggest harps on Brock Coyle. I don't see him making it there to those running backs out of the backfield in enough time. I don't have many harps on Brock Coyle because I think he's shined better than I thought he would, but that's what he doesn't do. And that's what I expect Malcolm Smith to be able to do whenever he gets back in this game. He can make it to those backs before they break for 10 yards every time.
I got the solution, and this is why I wanted to go last on this. If we bring back Eric Reed, we're good. Eric Reed didn't perform poorly at the linebacker position, and in case we run through our secondary again, he's also there also. Eric Reed is a dual threat guy, and I think he deserves to come back. If we bring back Eric Reed, we have all of a sudden that coverage linebacker that you guys are talking about that we can use and put in the different packages and things like that. And we have the depth to add with Tart and Colbert. You got Reed. I don't think Ward's coming back. I'm over Ward, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we have the depth, and he can play them all very, very well. Eric Reed is a jack of all trades. We bring him back. I don't think there's any need to address it in the draft or in free agency. I think we get we get 2 for 1 in that guy, and those are two very valuable positions right there. Anybody disagree with that? No.
I love it.
Yeah. It's good, right? I think we all like that. So I want to bring back Eric Reed. But again, Nick, why don't you tell people who we are, where they can find us? There's some new viewers in here right now, so I think we should give them some love too. Let them know that the live chat is popping too, so they can talk all they want.
Yeah, live chat is definitely popping tonight. Guys, the love that we're getting tonight. But we are Nothing But Niners. You can find us on Twitter at Nothing But 9ERS, Snapchat Nothing But 9ERS. You can find us on Facebook group page Nothing But Niners, all spelled out. Same with our Instagram page Nothing But Niners, all spelled out. You can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google Play. You know, all those podcast features, and that's Talk 49ers W / Nothing But Niners parentheses NBN. See, I got that mic there. So, yeah, guys, got a lot of good podcasts there as well. And then don't forget to check out the website, nothingbutniners, all spelled out, .com. Got a lot of great writers over there. Croc, Dylan is over there as a writer. Croc always comes in, and I'll let you guys explain who you are as well before we leave. But yeah, guys, make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button right down there in the right-hand corner. Make sure the notifications are set so that you know when we go live. And make sure you subscribe to our iTunes. Make sure you leave a comment on there as well. Give us some love on there if you like everything. Periscope is Nothing But Niners as well. Big shout out to all the guys that are in here. We got a lot of guys that normally are in here. I'm Little Ghost is Toby. But David Lopez, all our faithfuls that are always following us, really appreciate you guys. Big shout out to DNori25 on Twitter, D Mills, Mr. Cloud. I could keep going. Niners Nick. But I could keep going to all the faithfuls, man. Big shout out. So, but Eric Reed. I'm torn between this guy right now. Like, I really am. Like, he has some really good games, and then he has some really bad games. Last week, I pumped. What?
I can't recall Eric Reed having a bad game all year. He's had a bad series.
Okay,
he's had some bad
plays. I take that back. Not a complete bad game, but there are some plays that he should be making that he's not at times. But I guess that's the NFL. I did like him playing the linebacker position, though. Even though he was pissed off in the beginning, once he learned the system and playing there, he's an athlete. He adapted. He ended up liking it. Then we removed him. So I do think that is a great idea, Mike. I do agree with that. No, no.
I didn't want to say it out loud.
Why, bro? I shot out Ali when he had that big ass booger hanging out his nose.
I swear to God, I thought Dylan was sleeping over there just now. I looked over and he's like, "That was the longest blink ever, bro."
You gotta catch some Z's before Santa gets here.
Yeah. My wife is over here getting mad at me putting out gifts from us and not Santa, so I'm gonna have to jump off of this thing soon. I don't know if there was anything else you guys want to touch on. I see Croc keep leaving. He probably doing the same thing.
There's something. I want to know why it's a little over 4 hours after this football game, and I haven't gotten a notification that we signed Jimmy Garoppolo to a long-term deal.
Yeah.
Because after that, I feel like I would have been down there before the game ended saying, "How much money do you want, Jimmy? Because whatever you want, I'm giving it to you."
Hey, let's just hope that we don't do him like we did Joe Montana after he won his first Super Bowl and only signed him to a contract of $160,000.
Well, I mean, back then that was good money. So
no, I know. I'm just busting chops. That kind of.
I know. You know what's crazy with that though? I don't mind making Jimmy Garoppolo the 5th, 6th, 7th highest paid quarterback in the NFL right now. And the reason why, even if he's the 3rd highest, so his agent's not going to come in and say, "I want the highest," right? His agent's not going to say that because he hasn't done enough. Like it or not, yes, he's undefeated. Yes, he's got us on the 4-game win streak. Bro, like, pump the brakes. You played a total of 6 games. You know what I mean? His agent's not going to come in here and say, "Make my client the highest paid guy." But he is going to come in and say, "I want top 5 money," hoping to get top 6, top 7 money. You know what I mean? That's what he's going to do. I say do it. Because every year there's going to be another free agent quarterback that's going to get paid significantly more, and the cap keeps growing. You know, it's all about percentages. You pay you pay your quarterback a certain percentage of your cap space, and you don't think twice about it.
If you wait another year, and then Croc can go, if you wait another year to sign him to this long-term deal, the average is going to be even higher next year. So you're going to lose more money that way. If you franchise tag him, like I said before, you're going to have the issue where receivers are going to be like, they don't want the Kirk Cousins drama. They want to know who their quarterback's going to be, where they're going. If I'm going to sign a 3-year deal, I want to know who your quarterback's going to be for those 3 years. I don't want to have to keep guessing if you're going to keep franchising somebody. So that's why I think that we sign into a long-term deal. Do I think they do that? I fucking pray that they do, because I don't want to see this franchise tag bullshit. Plus, you're going to pay him more money with the franchise tag. What's an average right now? $25 million for a starting quarterback? That's average. So
no, I think that's the highest.
What's that?
I think $25 million. That whoever has that.
That's about what the Raiders paid Derek Carr. So that's probably
the
very top.
So I think the average from the top 5 is probably around like 23, maybe a little bit more than that, maybe.
All right, so I mean, in that, when we're talking that type of money, we're talking pocket change. between 23 and 25. Right? You know, so I mean, you put 20 million in my pocket, I'll take it. But my thing on this with him is, do you sign him to like a 4-year, 5-year? Kyle Shanahan is going to have 5 years left on his contract, right? Because we can sign him to a 6-year contract. Do you sign him? You try to sign him for 5 years to finish out Kyle Shanahan's contract, and then if they're doing well, you extend them both.
If it were up to me, I don't give him, how can I explain it? 49ers made Colin Kaepernick the highest paid quarterback in the league. You know what I'm saying? You can give him a contract like that to where, like, because his situation is rare. You've only started, you know, to this point, 6 games in his NFL career? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I think on both ends, it's like, hey, we want to commit to you long term. On his side, it's, okay, I know I'm good. I know what I'm worth, but we have to be, you know, it's like, okay, we have to be realistic about the situation as well. It's only 6 starts. So give him an incentive-based contract. It can still be a lot of money. It can still have, I mean, if he plays how he plays right now, he's going to hit all those escalators in that contract. You can still give him a nice guarantee, but, you know, hey, as long as you play well, or you can make the first 2 years incentive-based. After that, everything's guaranteed. You know, there's different ways that you can structure it to where he still makes a boatload of money, but if he does end up being sorry, okay, now we can cut bait with him at this point. You know, like, you know, there's different ways, and I'm pretty sure we all know who our capologist is. We have the greatest contract negotiator in the world. Everybody knows that, but he is. But I'm pretty sure there's a way that they can structure it to where, hey, Jimmy, as long as you do you, we're going to do what's fair to you, but also what's fair to this organization and this fan base. We're going to pay you. The contract is going to be $140 million. But, you know, you have to play like this and this over, you know, your first 2 years, and then you'll get the rest of the money. You know, I mean, there's different ways. There's different ways they can word it, but still make sure that he gets paid.
I think Parag Marate and his cap space ability is vastly overrated. He took Colin Kaepernick to town, and every player in the NFL hated it, and they did not want to sign here because of that. Right? That's his claim to fame. Everyone talks about, oh, the Niners have all this cap space, all this cap space. That's because the Niners haven't had anybody worth re-signing. He hasn't had to do any hard negotiations. What big free agents have the Niners gone out and got? We never made big splashes on day one. We barely made splashes on day 2. Like, so it's one thing to say, oh, we got this cap guru, this cap genius. When you're out there and you're doing things like the Redskins go hard day 1. You could like it, you could hate it, whatever it is. But when the Redskins want somebody, they go and get them. They go in negotiations hard. They bring in these free agents. They get local celebrities. Remember when they had the Wizards dude taking what's the corner name? Josh Norman out to dinner and shit. Like they negotiate hard as hell. They bring in the local celebrities. The Niners don't care about day 1 free agents. They don't care about day 2 free agents. Everyone give Parag Marate all this extra hype and, oh, he's this cap genius, he's cap genius. No, he just hasn't been spending money because we haven't re-signed anybody. We don't re-sign our own free agents. You look at Alex Boone, you look at Crabtree, Frank Gore, Ahmad Brooks, all these guys, when their contracts are up, we don't extend these guys. We let them all walk. We don't bring in new people, new talent. We coming in with fucking Mario Manning hands. Like, come on now. Like that those are the big names that we get. The biggest contract last 6-7 years was that Torrey Smith contract, and he didn't even see the end of that. You know what I mean? Like that, it didn't make any sense. I think Parag Marate is very overrated.
Exactly.
I think very overrated.
Torrey Smith was the biggest contract, and he didn't even get to see all of that because of how the contract was structured, which goes back to Parag Marate. And we're just thinking about the last few years. He's been this guy, since 2004? Or 2005? He's been doing the contracts for a long time. So we're talking about bringing in Justin Smith and the contract he's had. We're talking about re-signing Joe Staley and his team-friendly contracts that he's had. We're talking about when they re-signed Patrick Willis. Instead of, okay, we're not going to pay Deshaun Gozin, but we're going to re-sign Ahmad Brooks to a contract that we were able to get out of at the end of the year. He's been doing this. It's not just these past few years. Now, we'll give you, we don't have a lot of talent right now, so that's the reason why we have as much cap space. But even when we didn't, we had a lot of talent on that team, and the guys that he re-signed and made it work, he did what he was supposed to do. Now, returning certain guys, Crabtree and Ibody and all these other guys, that's on the GM. That's on Balky. Does Balky want these guys? I don't think that was based on – because remember what Crabtree said. 49ers offered Crabtree the most money. He just didn't want to play for the Niners. So that's not on Parag. That's on these guys. He has done, as long as I can remember, 49ers have never been in big-time cap trouble. And that's because of him. Even in times when we had to pay some guys. They paid 3 linebackers. Who, you know what I'm saying? And Justin Smith, they were paying everybody. And still was having some money left. But some of the guys walked, and that wasn't on Parag. That's on Balky. And that's why he's not here anymore.
I feel like all the people that they re-signed, people always talk about, there's no way he's going to see the end of his contract. We said that about Ahmad Brooks for 3 years running because it was a ridiculous amount of money for somebody in his position to be making. You know what I mean? We said the same thing about the Patrick Willis contract. We said the same thing about the Bowman contract. That's why the Bowman's contract was redone recently. Anyway, I got Nick yawning. I literally got Nick
yawning. About the Brooks contract. Could we have gotten out of it? And the answer is yes. We could have let him go. We could have let him go.
His guarantees were too high. No, I got to pull it up again.
He made all that the first few years of the contract. We could have been let him go, but we didn't have anything better.
His contract was back end heavy. I'm pretty sure Ahmad Brooks' contract was back end heavy. That's why for the last.
That's what you got to pay attention to. Not the back end huge number. It can't be $9-10 million at the end. But if he signed $45 million, he signed for $45 million, right? If his contract is $45 million, but it's only $20 million guaranteed, he got that in the first 2 years. Now everything else is just money if he's on the team. But they could have let him go, but there wasn't anything out there better.
I'm pretty sure Brooks was on the books this year for $12 million. I know it was some absurd number. I was like, there's no way he should be making that much money.
It was $9 million, and they could have let him go. That was the whole thing. They could have let my Brooks go. Oh, he still makes it. And everybody was like, how does he keep making it? They could have been let him go.
I gotta agree with him a little bit here because some of them we don't know what the contracts were. And for some of those players, this team was ran by Trent Baalke. We all know that. And that's what ended the Harbaugh years. That's what ended all that shit because of Baalke. So Baalke could have just not wanted those players back. Frank Gore wanted to come back here. Trent Baalke made crazy statements that they wanted to bring him back.
Frank didn't want to come back. Frank said he wouldn't mind, but Frank signed that. Frank wanted a ring. Frank signed with the Eagles, and then the Colts made the offer. He was like, "Oh wait, hold up. I think the Colts are in a better position to go for a ring." That's why Frank. Bro, he wanted nothing to do with the Niners. He knew we were going down. He wanted
but he also said he wasn't. He took the money. He took the money and the ring. Like trying to go after the ring, which we see how that happened. But either way, I have to agree with Croc on this because Parag this year, look at what we did this year in free agency with a general manager and contracts. Yes, did we overpay 2 people? Yeah, but those were also 2 people that were highly sought after. And we had the money, so why not? We weren't the highest offer, or we were the highest offer on Kyle Juszczyk. But there was a ton of offers in for him. And they wanted him, they got him. Sometimes you got to do that, especially in free agency. We haven't really seen the outcome of Malcolm Smith yet because of an injury, but they must have seen something in him that they wanted. We seen the extension with.
I got to take off, guys. Sorry to interrupt. I got to take off.
All right. All right, so let's just wrap this up. We can continue this again. But I know a lot of people got to get their cookies and milk for Santa Claus. Yeah, no, don't worry about that. I'll take care of that later. But yeah, guys, I just want to thank everybody for joining us on Christmas Eve. It's 12:52 in the morning here on the East Coast. It's only 10 o'clock on the West Coast, but we wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a happy holiday. Thank you once again for always joining us. Really appreciate it. Yeah, so no, Mike, I'll take care of it next time. I don't have this stuff in front of me, so. And I have a confliction. I'll tell you later about it.
I think there's a miscommunication there. I'm going to translate for you guys. Mike is talking about something that we all got to hear earlier this week whenever Telvin Smith had the audacity to tell us that it was a hat and T-shirt week. He told us that this game was going to be an easy one. He didn't have to worry about it. The Jaguars didn't have to worry about it. They were just looking forward for the playoffs. But I think I'm going to let Mike take over because I remember whenever it first happened, he was the most upset about this. I slowly grew to Mike's level of upset, and I'm just that petty. So go ahead, Mike.
I was furious. Let's make no qualms about it. No mistake about this. I was furious. You're going to sit here and say, when we win this game, we're celebrating getting a first-round bye. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. You don't look at any professional team and say that shit during the week. That is the most disrespectful shit ever. You say that to a team that just came off of 3 straight wins, beating a team in your division that your bum ass has lost to? Fuck you, bro. You can't say that shit. And then people, they took it out of context. Fuck context. Don't let those words come out of your mouth. It's T-shirt and hat week. It looks like y'all practicing T-shirts and hats all week, and we practicing pads, and we beat that ass. I'm sorry. I'm calm down now. I'm sorry.
I do want to say that going into this week, as of the past 3 weeks before this Sunday, there was a tie for first place on the longest active winning streak in the NFL. And that tie was between the 49ers and the Jaguars.
We just beat that.
And now Mr. Hat and T-shirt week can start his loss streak because we're going to keep our win streak going with our 4 undisputed first place wins.
We'll just have to make them take them off.
Yeah.
Who said that? That's a Reuben Foster quote.
Let's go, baby. That's exactly what Reuben said. It's a T-shirt and hat week? Oh, I guess we got to make them take them off. Take that shit off, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Hey,
I'm done.
It was funny, too, just to talk on that real quick, is one of the vets, I'm not sure who said it, but I saw Joe Fan say that he was talking to a vet in the locker room and said that the Jaguars were talking the most shit that this player has ever heard in his career from another team, talking that much smack on the field the entire night. And it was funny, and you can tell this team is young because when the time counted, they helped us win that game by stupid penalties.
Stupid penalties.
And I'm proud of our young team, which we're young also, not retaliating and losing those yards. Because if that was earlier in the year when we were losing, before we were winning, they probably would have retaliated. And it would have been – remember we had one game where we had 9 flags all on the same play? So definitely fuck you and your T-shirts and your hats. And I hope you lose the fucking first round.
I want to say this before we get out of here, too. This game, right? During this game, I was watching this. And I thought to myself multiple times that this game reminded me of when the Niners and Cap met Carolina and Cam in the playoffs. And Cam and them were on this hot streak. We went into the belly of the beast out there in Carolina, and we beat that ass. and that's when Cap did his thing and buttoned his shit back up, right? That's exactly when that happened. But you remember how the team started losing their shit. They started pushing our players, getting all these unnecessary roughness penalties. There was that thing that happened, and then that was the first thing that it reminded me of. And the second thing is, you start watching what happened in Seattle when they started losing. You can tell that this team is coming from the same exact mold. That you can tell this team is molded specifically after that Seattle team, because they start losing. Calais Campbell and all, bro, they turn into the same exact thing. They were pushing players after the. How many unnecessary roughness flags did they get today? 2 or 3? Yeah, they started fighting their own teammates at one point. Like that. Yeah, it was crazy. You saw them unraveling so quickly, and they looked just like Seattle. They looked just like Seattle. And now after the game, you got players coming out saying, man, the Niners exposed us. We weren't ready. Like they're coming out and they're openly admitting this now. You know what I'm saying? It's a young team, and like Nick said, and I'm always the guy, look at our penalties. That's a direct reflection on coaching. When I'm on it and I'm beating them up, I'm going to beat them up. But when it's time to give them credit for the coaching, I'm going to give the coaching credit. And like Nick said, I'm going to piggyback off of that. It's a testament to our coaching staff that our young guys didn't strike back. You know what I mean? Marquise Goodwin having the breakout season of the year. That dirty-ass hit, got up and walked away. Got up and walked away.
That made me mad.
Yeah, he's having a career year, literally a career year. Got up and walked away. That's a testament to coaching, and we deserve to give them that. I tip my hat to Shanahan and his coaching staff. He's doing a damn good job, man. Damn good job. I'm done.
I have one question before you leave, Mike. And it can be a quick one. How do you feel about Robert Saleh? Saleh.
I think Robert Saleh needs a pass rusher, and I would like him more. I honestly believe that. I think if Robert Saleh got a pass rusher, I would think that he's deserving of being a long-term guy. And also, I didn't say this because I never got to chime in on the Jimmy Garoppolo talk. I would do something unprecedented and sign him to like an 8-year deal. I know it sounds crazy, but it would be such a high amount of contract and everything that it would be impossible for him to say no. And long-term security, and by the time those 8 years get here, it'll be pennies in the bucket, and we would be like, look, you signed your contract. That's all I'm saying. I would do something crazy, 7 to 8 year deal for Jimmy Garoppolo. I really would. So that's what I'm done. I'm done. Nick, take us home, baby.
Robert Saleh will be here to stay. I think for what he has right now, he's doing his thing. Other than sometimes rushing 3 when he should be rushing 4. I agree with you, Mike, there.
Defensive linemen and coverage. Something
needs to change. But the real question is, Dylan, what do you use to keep up your hair? No, this was
secret,
man. No, guys, I'm good. Rob Emmons says we should have a Nothing But Niners viewing party on the Cardaro next Sunday. That's where I guess they're all going for New Year's Eve. So big shout out there. Big shout out, Rob. Yeah, no, I don't have anything else, man. I'm thankful for this team. I'm excited for this team. The direction that this team is going was good. So one last shout out where to find us, Nothing But 9 ERS on Twitter, Nothing But Niners on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button down there. Make sure the notifications are set so you know when we go live. Check us out on SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google Play. Make sure you leave us a comment there and feedback as well as a rating. That's Talk 49ers with Nothing But Niners, parentheses NBN. You can find us on nothingbutniners.com. Check out the articles. Go check out Dylan's piece today.
I gotta apologize for that piece because I flat out said in there, if we want to win this game, we're gonna have to do it by running. I will admit when I'm wrong.
No. I'm not gonna let you go out like that. We actually had a good game on the ground. It didn't look like it because it wasn't all from Carlos Hyde or it wasn't all from Matt Breida. Like we actually put up like 150 something rushing yards, if I'm not mistaken.
We did. But I said that there was no way that Jimmy Garoppolo was going to win this by himself in the air. And while we did put up a lot of rush yards, Jimmy Garoppolo, man, he never ceases to amaze. So, yeah. Let me know what you think about the piece. You can find me on Twitter at Dylan Frazier 98. Hopefully I'll be getting some more pieces up here soon, but let me know what you think. I'd love to hear the feedback.
I might have to go. I think I might have to shoot somebody. It sounded like somebody broke something on my property. I'm sorry.
All right, yeah, we're out. So
the Niners actually rushed for 131 yards today. So it was better than what we've done in the last couple of games. I'll take it. All
right, cool. Well, guys, big Merry Christmas to you all. Enjoy your families, your loved ones, your friends. Make it a special one. Be safe out there. Don't drink and drive if you're drinking. Be smart. You want to be able to live to see the next day and next week's game against LA because we're going to take them out as well. Dylan, do we win next week?
Of course we do. Keep that win streak alive, man.
Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Beliefs. Guys, Merry Christmas, everybody. And above all else, stay faithful. We out.